الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال الله تعالى في القرآن المجيد والفرقان الحميد إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I think many of you are seeing me for the first time. I was out of state visiting my daughter, so I was not here. In my absence, my son was taking the class. So inshallah I'm back. Now inshallah we are going to continue. I have learned that you have seen the introduction. You know the introduction of the subject. You know what we are going to do and what is it all about. So inshallah we are going to go to the chapter 1, which deals with the Makharij. Makharij is the backbone of this subject. Actually, you know that there are many rules that we are going to study in this class. There are about 10 chapters. And this is the first chapter that deals with the Makharij. So we have 9 more chapters to go. So inshallah we are going to learn this subject in detail. Not few rules here and there, but it is going to be discussed in detail. And inshallah you will learn all the exceptional rules and other things, inshallah Aziz. So Makharij is the backbone. You have to have correct pronunciation. And as Ali Karamallahu has described it, it is the pronunciation, it is Makharij al-Huruf, that Makharij, or the place from where the letter has to be uttered, the letter has to be pronounced, it is Tajweed. So this is going to be discussed and practiced in this class. So please come prepared. And also, I would request you to study and practice at home. There are a few things that I suggest all the time to my students, that if you can, there are so many tapes available, so many sites are available, and then you can go to that site and download any qira'ah of any learned qari. There are many qurra on the line, so you can start listening to them. Listening will help you in learning the correct pronunciation, and listening will help you also that you should be saying it correctly. You should be reading it correctly. So this will help you out in learning the subject very easily and very quickly. So this is the method that I suggest you that you during the week, because it's the one day at the end of the week, in the weekend. So during the week you can do this. You can go and download all those sites, or a couple of sites, and go to the pronunciation section and try to imitate those qurra. That will help you out. I know that this class is not going to make you Qari Abdul Basit, because this is something very special. It depends upon your willingness, your enthusiasm, your courage, and your interest, and your practice. All these things make you a perfect Qari. But qira'ah is pronouncing, reading the Quran as it was revealed to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is our objective, to learn beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. This is our objective. And the lahan has two meanings. One, lahan is the tone, but it is professionally, this lahan is not used to describe or to indicate that there is a tone, about tone. Usually the lahan means mistake. Mistake. Lahan means mistake. So in Tajweed language, if you say you have a lahan, it means you are making a mistake here. So lahan is going to be, there are two meaning, so I just want to let you know about it. So alhamdulillah, inshallah, we are going to start from the first chapter that deals with the Makharij. So what is the meaning of Makharij? Do you have any idea? Do you know? Not the old people, but the new people, new students. What do you understand or what do you know about Makharij? If I say Makharij, what do you understand?
The correct pronunciation.
Yes. Yeah, the point of articulation. The point of articulation is Makharij. The place from where you utter or pronounce a letter is Makharij, from where it comes out. Which part of the mouth is used to pronounce a letter? That is Makharij. And the plural of Makharij is Makharij. So if we are dealing here with the Makharij, means that we are dealing with all the Makharij or all Makharij of huruf. We have 29 huruf, so then there are few, they are divided into few Makharij. Not 29, we have not 29 Makharij, 17 Makharij we have. How many? 17 Makharij altogether. So the 29 letters are divided into 17 rules, and the 17 rules cover the Makharij of each letter. So that you have to memorize that those Makharij. This is your task. Today we want you to pay attention and try to memorize all these Makharij by heart, so that you don't have to open the book and go, what is the Makharij of this letter? So it will be forever for you to read the Quran. So you have to know what is the Makharij of each letter. There are 29 letters and 17 Makharij. This is the, I don't know how many of you are of the old system, because when we learn the Quran from our grandmothers or the old ladies in our house, Alif Be Te Se, we learn this way. That is the Persian pronunciation. Alif Be is Persian pronunciation. So we don't pronounce the Persian way, we pronounce Arabic way, which is Alif Ba Ta Ba. So this is what I have given here. These are the names of all the alphabets. We are not going to use Alif Be Te Se, but we are going to use Alif Ba Ta Tha Jim Ha Kha Dal Dal Ra Zay Sin Shin Sad Dad Ta Ba Ain Rain Fa Qaf Kaf Lam Mim Nun Waw Ha Waw and Ya, and of course Hamza. So these are the names that we are going to use during our class. Not Alif Be Te Se. This is the pronunciation. If I want to say Alif, I will say Alif. Be, I'm not going to say Be but Ba. So I want you to know this is what pronunciation you are going to use throughout the class. So the Makharij's point of articulation articulation or place your pronunciation. Its plural is Makharij, of course. You know that. And why should we learn Makharij? That's a good question. I think you should, you ask yourself a question, why are we learning this Makharij? What is the use? And what is the purpose? And what is the importance of this, learning the Makharij, correct pronunciation? I'm giving you some mispronunciation or mispronounced letters or words and see how it changes the meaning. And you know that Alhamdulillah, I think that many of you pronounce it right correctly, Alhamdulillah. But many of us, they don't pronounce Alhamdu as Alhamdu, Alhamdu. You know the difference between Alhamdu and Alhamdu? Am I making a difference in pronouncing these two words? Alhamdu and Alhamdu. So Alhamdu means all praise. Alhamdulillah, all praise belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, Alhamdu, if you change the ha into ha, to put out fire or to starve to death, changes the meaning. This big change in the meaning occurs. So you have to be careful as a student of Tajweed and as a student, as a Muslim. As a Muslim, we have to know what we are saying, what we are reading. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made us, it's incumbent upon us, it's mandatory upon us to learn to read Quran correctly. And that's what we are doing in this class. So that's the reason why we have to learn to read Quran correctly and pronounce each letter from its own point of articulation, from its Makharij. Makharij is the key word that we are going to discuss in this chapter. Balleen, those who go astray, balleen. Now, many people, they don't pronounce ball correctly. It is the most mispronounced letter, ball. So, balleen, waladdaleen. Many people say that, waladdaleen. So, what is the meaning of daleen? Those who follow the right path. So, this is completely opposite. Balleen, who went astray, or those who are misguided, but daleen, who is guided, or who are guided. So it is just opposite of balleen. So daleen is not correct word. We have to say balleen from its makharij. Dal is really a very critical letter that you have to master, or you have to learn to pronounce dal correctly from its point of articulation. If you know the point makharij, then inshallah you have no difficulty in pronouncing the letter correctly. Okay? If I say this, don't panic. Don't be afraid. Inshallah, we are here to learn it, and everything can be achieved and can be learned without any difficulty. And once you learn it, it becomes easy for everyone. Azim, great, and azim. Ain, if the ain is not pronounced from the throat or from its correct pronunciation of correct makharij, then azim becomes azim. Azim. So this azim means afflicted or miserable. So what a change! You can see that change. What change is that you are doing by mispronouncing a letter. A letter. Azim and azim. So your just carelessness for pronouncing the letter will make it a big change in the meaning. Now, alim is knowing. Alim is one who knows everything. And alim is painful. If you don't say alim from your throat, convey or listener that you are saying alim, not alim. So if alim means you are right, it means a knower. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is alim. He knows everything. And alim means painful. Similarly, asr, wal asr. Asr means time. Asr with sin, asr means difficulty. Salli means send blessings. Now just read this ayah. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina wa mawlana Muhammad. Now salli means that, oh Allah, send blessings upon our master and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now if you don't pronounce the Saad correctly and you end up pronouncing the Saad by sin, Salli. You draw a sword upon Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So this change in the meaning will scare you, that by mispronouncing a letter, you are changing the whole meaning from upside down, from positive to negative, from respectful to disrespectful. So all these things happen if you mispronounce, and that's why we are learning here. And when we learn these Makharij, now responsibility upon you to make sure that you absorb these Makharij. Absorb these Makharij. And you practice such a way that whenever you say or whenever you utter all these Arabic letters, you will utter it, you say it from its own point of articulation correctly, even during your conversation. Not necessarily that you are reading Quran, but in your conversation, if you want to say Saad, say Saad. Ain, say Ain, not Ain. Well, Ain. What is Ain? Ain. Saad. Wad. So all this correct pronunciation, you made a good decision of learning Tajweed. Now, by now, after you are done with this class, inshallah, you are going to acquire the knowledge to read Quran as it was revealed to our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So this is a great achievement that you are going to have, inshallah. Similarly, Saif with Saad, it is summer. Saif with Saad is summer, is a season. But with Sin, if you change the Saad into Sin, Saif. Saif means sword. Sword. So these are the changes will occur in the meaning if you mispronounce a letter. I have given you here an example how the meaning is changed. For example, one ayah, Surah Al-Duha, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. This is the ayah. And many people say, وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. You know what's the change in the meaning? And verily your Lord will give you so much that you shall be destroyed. Farda. If you mispronounce the dad, and you are pronouncing the dad by dad, then you are changing the meaning from positive to negative, from respectful to disrespectful. This is what happens. This is why it is important. And I don't know whether in the previous class, those who do not learn Tajweed, the learned scholars of Quran, they said that he is an athim, a sinner. If you don't learn Tajweed, you may be a sinner. That is what the ulama and the ai*imma has described it, that if you don't learn Tajweed, so you don't pronounce, if you don't read read Quran correctly, then you may be an athim, a sinner. You are committing a big sin. So please be careful and learn this subject very cautiously and with interest, and apply it. Whenever you learn something, when you go home, then practice with your recitation of the Quran. I think that you are all reading Quran every day. You have a habit of learning or reading Quran every day. So whenever you read Quran, make sure that you are concentrating on the correct pronunciation of each letter. That's how you master it. That's how you will learn it. So وَلَسَوْفَ يُعْطِيكَ رَبُّكَ فَتَرْضَى. نَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ مِنْ ذَلِكَ. So it will be bad meaning. This is a very common mistake. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Ahad with ha. He is Allah, He is the one. Now many people say Ahad. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Now what does that mean? قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. نَعُوذُ بِاللَّهِ. He is Allah the coward. Ahad means coward. So you should be scared. Right? Now you should pronounce it correctly. So قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Pronounce it correctly, so you will say the right meaning, that will have the right meaning. But if you by mistake said ahad, na'uz billahi min zalik, you are saying Allah is coward. Now here we are going to start the subject. Before we start the subject, there are some things that you want to write it down, or if you know it, then it's up to you. What are the terminology that we are going to use during our class, or in this chapter, or maybe for the rest of the chapters? So there are short vowels. Short vowels, we call it haraka. What do we call it? Haraka. Haraka. Not haraka. Haraka. Haraka is short vowel. Fatha, Dhamma, and Kasra. Zabar, Zir, Pesh. These are called haraka. Haraka. Short vowel is the definition of it, but name is haraka. Is each haraka Fatha, Dhamma, Kasra. And a letter which has a haraka on it is called mutaharrik. A letter which has fatha, a letter which has kasra or dhamma, what would you call it? No? It's for example, ba has a haraka. Ba has a fatha, so ba has a haraka of fatha. So what is that letter called? Mutaharrik. A letter which has a haraka is going to be notified and called as haraka. And mutaharrik. A letter which has that haraka is going to be called mutaharrik. You know, mutaharrik means active. Mutaharrik means active. One which has a life in it, which is moving. So haraka is, because without haraka, the letter does not have any sound. So that's why when it has a sound, it becomes mutaharrik. It is moving. It has a life in it. Without haraka, it is silent, no sound. So the letter which has fatha is going to be called fatha. A letter, say, maftuh. A letter which has a haraka of fatha. Fatha is zabar on there. If fatha is on a letter, then that letter will be maftuh. That is the name we are going to call a letter which has fatha on it. Similarly, dhamma. Dhamma is pesh, right? And a letter which has dhamma, what are you going to call it? Magmoom. Magmoom. Not mazmoom. Magmoom. Mazmoom has a different meaning. Magmoom. Okay? So people don't pay attention, but you have to pay it right, to utter is right word, right way, because you are learning the Makharij. So Magmoom is the Kasra. Kasra is there. And a letter has a kasra on it, is going to be called as maksur. So this is a maksur letter, meaning that this letter has kasra. So what is maftuh? Maftuh. Maftuh.
Maftuh.
Yeah, what is maftuh? Yes, a letter which has a fatha on it is going to be called maftuh from now onwards. And a letter which has a kasra on it, maksur, and a dhamma on it, magmoom. Magmoom. So maksur, magmoom, and maftuh. These are the names of the letters which has all these harakat on it. And similarly, we have, these are the short vowels and long vowels. We have alif maqsura, which is a long vowel, shortened alif. Alif madda, which is a long vowel. Ya madda, waw madda. Oh, I'm sorry. These are long vowels. Alif madda, ya madda, waw madda. They are going to be elongated when you see these signs on those letters. So these signs, if you see those, what will be the elongation? 2 haraka, equal to 2 haraka. Is 1 haraka, is 2 haraka, equal to 2 haraka. Did you understand my example? Anybody misunderstood? Nobody is nodding the head even. You understand what I mean? Okay. Just so that I know that yes, I did not make a mistake. Yes.
The alif madda is the shortened alif followed by a hamza, making it twice as long.
It becomes mad. Yeah, twice as long.
Twice as long.
Twice as long. Yeah, because 2 haraka. The elongation is 2 haraka, so it is twice as long. So 1 haraka, 2 haraka. So elongation, duration is 2 haraka. All these things will be elongated equivalent to 2 haraka. Now another chapter here, there are so many other things. Sukoon. Jazm is also called sukoon. And a letter which has jazm on it is called sakin. Sakin. Sakin means silent, not moving, silent, very calm, silent. Sukoon is jazm, or sukoon means silent, of course. But what is sukoon? When do you see sukoon? When you see jazm, that is sukoon. That is called sukoon, and it doesn't have any sound. Any sound. A, E, U, 3 sounds. So we don't have these one of these sounds to this sakin letter. Now the other one is tashdid or shadda. Shadda or tashdid, same thing. Shadda or tashdid, same thing. It is a double pronunciation. You pronounce it twice. Mushaddad. When there is a tashdid on a letter, that letter becomes mushaddad. So tashdid is the sign, and the name of the letter that we give it to, the letter is mushaddad. So a letter which has tashdid on it, is that letter is mushaddad. And then you have to apply the meaning to it. Mushaddad means it will be pronounced twice. Now, the second thing is, or third thing, ta'awudh. And this another name for ta'awudh is isti'adha. Ta'awudh. Can you say this ta'awudh? MashaAllah, you said it. So ta'awudh is a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, is ta'awudh. But say ta'awudh. Ta'awudh. Yes. So you should learn to say it correctly, ta'awudh. That from the two tips, two letters in between two letters, two teeth, ta'awudh. We are going to learn it, but I'm just saying ta'awudh or isti'adha, which is a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. This is ta'awudh. I will say, if I say read ta'awudh, then you read. Now similarly, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim is called Basmala. What is it called? Basmala. If I say read Basmala, it means I am asking you to read Bismillah or Tasmiyah. Tasmiyah and Basmala both are same name for the same ayah, I should say. Basmala and Ta'awuz. There are other things that we are going to find during our class. One word